time for the finals. We are on the draw. Our opponent keeps 7, and so do we. I've really liked the mana composition in our deck so far. Usually, I think we've never had a red card that we couldn't cast, so that's amazing. And looking at this hand, this is really, really good once again. Oh yeah, opportunity. I'm beginning to think that our deck is really unfair. Green or white creature card, yeah, we won't be giving you that. I'm going to shock rather than claustrophobia, I think. I want to get the instant or sorcery into my graveyard. If I draw an Archaeomancer, I really want to just get back a card. Even though it's more mana efficient to claustrophobia, the Lifebane zombie, the claustrophobia also deals with other threats better. Haunted Plate Mail is interesting because it's a big threat that we can't claustrophobia. So that could be a problem of sorts. Oh, that's good. Our opponent hasn't seen the mountain, so I'm going to drop the island and then this. The thing about Haunted Plate Mail is that if our opponent wants to develop his board and play another creature, then he can basically only attack with the Plate Mail once. And if he then doesn't play a creature, then I'm also fine. If he plays a creature, we can claustrophobia it, and Haunted Plate Mail is only an equipment for +4/+4 then. And by only I mean it's still very, very good, of course. Okay, this all resolved. So our opponent didn't have anything to do with 5 mana, or he only had the creature, a creature that he didn't want to play. I'm going to double block here, because if my opponent spends a removal spell on either of my creatures, I'm fine with that. If it's a Ring Flash, oh well. I think it's still a fine trade, considering what our deck is trying to do. There is a Nightwing Shade, so that's a card that we can just shock and then play Wall of Frost. We could Divination to find lands, but that's really greedy. Not going to do that. Let's see what else our opponent has. Cursed Spirit and Seacoast Drake. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, I can understand that. He wants to equip the Plate Mail now, but we have another Archaeomancer, so we get rid of the Spirit, and then we have Claustrophobia for Seacoast Drake. Oh, we actually drew a shock. So now, let's see. We could shock the Spirit and Claustrophobia the Seacoast Drake. That way we aren't ever losing, I think. If this is a creature that can be equipped with a Plate Mail, that would be our opponent's best draw in a sense. But I'm still feeling quite comfortable about this game. I'm not going to try to divinate for lands, because if I draw a single land, then I want to opportunity, and until then I want to really develop my board. Disperse on Seacoast Drake is fine. It comes back and gets equipped, so we have a 5/7 on our hands. That's a land. Going to upkeep the opportunity. It gives us the most information. It plays around counter spells. It's just the right play here. And I'm not jump blocking or anything. No need to do that yet. Let's see. We can play Divination rather than Opportunity, and then also Seacoast Drake and Elixir, which seems better. Oh, that's also great. So now, yeah, maybe I should have attacked first. Maybe I should have played this a bit differently. The young Pyromancer is going to convert a lot of our cards into good stuff. I'm going to play this very defensively by just blocking here. Diabolic Tutor. So now we are up against the best that our opponent can do. Could actually be a Sea Kite here. Wouldn't like that very much. We have 8 mana, so Disperse and Opportunity are our plays. Could also be that we are facing a Corrupt. Phantom Warrior, you got it. Gonna block and then disperse the Haunted Plate Mail. Killing this in the process. Opponent can play the Plate Mail. No, play something else. Maybe the Corrupt. Oh, Jace's Mindseeker, that's cool. Mills us for 4. For 5 even. And didn't hit. Yeah, that's really lucky for us because we have so many sweet cards that he can hit. So now we Opportunity. Now we actually have to Archaeomancer back the Shock. Because the Phantom Warrior kills us. Our opponent now knows this, so I can just do this now. And now I only have lands left. Okay, our opponent concedes. Maybe a bit prematurely, but probably wasn't beating the elixir. I think I would have just kept drawing because I wanted at least one more draw spell before I shuffled this in. If I draw an Archaeomancer, which I think I still had one, then I don't want my graveyard shuffled in. But we are playing blue against blue-black control. Opponent does have some scary cards, but we can definitely out control all of them. Spell Blast, Time Ebb, Scroll Thief, Negate. Yeah, Negate looks like the most reasonable card because it deals with the Plate Mail. I think we want to board for the first time ever. Wall of Frost isn't great against him, but it's important to have a blocker for his Plate Mail. Let's put that in. Could also try to play Spell Blast, but I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, I think this matchup isn't going to be decided with early aggression, so I'm going to board out one Seacoast Drake. And our opponent is on the play. Keeping, and we are keeping as well. We have our best card once again. This is the key. Well, the 2 opportunities are certainly great as well, so... It's a good thing that we put the elixir into play immediately, because Duress taking elixir makes our main plans a lot worse. Kind of like shocking here, just to remove, just to not take too much damage. On the other hand, a Curse Spirit is a card that I would much rather shock. I think we can wait one more turn and see what happens. Keeping Shock is also great against the Shade, the 5 mana Shade. Yeah, taking 2 a turn here is, I think, helping us more than our opponent. Both Nightwing Shade and a Curse Spirit can't be cast with us having a Shock. Well, they can be cast, but it's not accomplishing much. Yeah, Left Bin Zombie is a card that we do need to shock. It's basically like like an Accursed Spirit in this matchup, except that our opponent gets to see our hand again. Could have Archaeomancer back Shock, but I don't want my opponent to know that we have it. If he drops a land and then the Nightwing Shade, I kind of want to have it that way. Do I want to raise here? No, I think we can just wait one more turn. Yeah, this is the Nightwing Shade I've been talking about. So now our opponent doesn't attack because he doesn't want to sacrifice Nightwing Shade. And we show him the Archaeomancer to kill the... to just kill the Shade immediately. We still don't attack. I want to disperse my Archaeomancer at some point, but I don't want to do that and have him either Doomblade in response or something like that. I need to be a little more careful about my spells. Oh, I think we could negate that. Yeah, this card is good enough to fight over it. Even if our opponent follows up with a removal spell, it's not really all that bad. Okay, this is going to be a Ring Flash, so we could double block to kill the Blood Baron, even though our opponent has a Ring Flash, but I think that's not worth it. Okay, this looks like something good. Liturgy of Blood and Zethrid Necromancer. Okay, that's a nice combo with the Blood Baron as well. So, let's see. Could Glimpse the Future, or we drop our 8th land, use 6 of them to play Disperse and Archaeomancer, then have 2 left, which doesn't even cost Divination. No, let's glimpse into the future. Wall of Frost, Opportunity. I'm gonna take Opportunity. So this is the Ring Flash once again. We can double block Blood Baron or double block this. I'm gonna double block this. Oh, yeah, that was... I don't know what I'm doing. I knew that there was a Ring Flash, but now I was blocking with a creature that had one power less, so the calculation just didn't work out. And an Accursed Spirit. Okay, in that case, I think I need to get rid of the Spirit with the help of Disperse. Gonna have to take 4 here. Now this might be the first time where I just sacrifice the elixir before I Opportunity. Oh wow, he also has the Colossal Whale, so he got all the good cards that I passed basically. Let's see, we have a Claustrophobia left in the deck. So if I elixir and then Opportunity, I have a lesser chance of finding it, so I'm just going to try to find it that way. Archaeomancer is also nice. We can disperse the whale, but that isn't going to win us the game, so I'm just going to see what this Opportunity brings. Claustrophobia? No. That's pretty bad. We now... I think we're almost dead. Yeah, probably. Wait, do I need to keep this up? We have 2 Archaeomancers, so we have 1 blocker, and that means this gets through, and we'd have to chump block Bloodbaron. Then we have 0 creatures against this board. Alternatively, we have Nephalia Seakite, which doesn't get eaten by Colossal Whale, but then we still just chump block the Bloodbaron. Except that our opponent then has to sacrifice the Necromancer. Yeah, that isn't much better, I think. I think I just take a shock here. For tempo reasons. Believe we might be losing this. Don't know where I could have played this better. I think this time the late game cards were just too much. The block against Ring Flash was of course not what I wanted to accomplish, or it didn't do what I wanted to accomplish. So Negate is definitely the card I want. Now I'm kind of scared of his late game, but Spellblast is just not the card that I want, I think. Armored Cancrix, Time App. Maybe Time App is an option. It does delay his late game cards. I've told him that we can't split because I'm recording. I've told him already, so yeah, I'll just pause this and then submit. Maybe I'm bringing in the Time App though. Let's see. Time App looks like a good way to delay the inevitable, and it's not bad with the Archaeomancer, it's actually quite good. So I'm just going to go for more aggression, just not play the low impact cards. And here we go. I'm gonna try to play first, and this is a pretty awkward hand. Negate is only okay against him. Yeah, I think I have to mulligan this. And then I'll try to keep this. Not the greatest hand, we might lose this. But that's the way of the warrior. Yep. Opportunity or shock, that's actually okay. We do have the Archaeomancer to get either back, but we do need to draw into lands now, otherwise we might just die very quickly. We are playing 18 and we mulliganed on the play. So not much to do here so far. Messenger Drakes should be great to block the Bloodbaron. Yeah, now we have to stem the bleeding a bit, which is bad for us because Claustrophobia is one of our main ways to deal with his late game threats. We now basically have to hope that the hero doesn't have a follow-up here, or that we draw into a mountain. Mind Rot actually isn't that bad, because we have so much stuff that we can't really use. I'm not sure how important Air Servant is. In a sense, I think that Messenger Drake is probably the better card. And I want Archaeomancer to get back Shock, because I need something to block these guys. On the other hand, I don't know if the Shock is actually going to be relevant. I could discard Opportunity, just keep 2 flyers, and then decide what to do with Archaeomancer, depending on what I draw. Even if I draw 2 lands, though, I definitely want to just play Archaeomancer. It's going to be a free spell, so I'm not going to discard that. Yeah, it really hinges on whether I want to discard Opportunity or not. This is difficult. I think Opportunity Messenger Drake is the safest because I keep the Air Servant for any creatures he has, but I want the extra lands before I can actually lock him out of the game with Air Servant or anything. So actually going to discard these 2. and then immediately get back the shock. It doesn't help against the Necromancer, but I want to use my mana efficiently, and now I know that I'm going to be able to do something with my mana every single turn from now on, while still holding opportunity. I didn't want to discard that. Mind Rot? No. Corpse Hauler. That Corpse Hauler actually gets him a zombie. Yeah, that's pretty unfair, but he can't sacrifice it right now, so I'm just going to opportunity myself. Haunted Plate Mail comes down. Not too scary right now. We have a Time Ebb, but I don't think it's doing much right now. Oh, Nephalia Sea Kite, that's a sweet card. In a sense, I want my opponent to just plate mail a random creature. Maybe even Tenacious Dead. I could disperse the plate mail, but I don't think that's what I want to be doing. I think I want to get rid of the Necromancer now. And I can't block the Corpse Hauler this turn, because our opponent would get another zombie token, which I can't afford. Okay, this hand is now really, really good. Don't know why I didn't attack with this Sea Kite here. I think that was probably a mistake. Yeah, the Sea Kite should have just attacked. Equips the zombie token to make it a 6/6. That sounds like it's going to be Ring Flash on Wall of Frost, but it's not even good. Okay, it's nothing of that sort. I could disperse the Archaeomancer now to get back opportunity, but it's better to just use the Archaeomancer as a blocker and then disperse it. I'm also threatening lethal, even though it doesn't look like it, by shocking my opponent and then getting the shock back with Archaeomancer. Liturgy of Blood is a card that I can safely negate here, denying my opponent the mana that he would like to have had. He goes into his end step without any mana, so I'm shooting him for 2, dispersing the Archaeomancer, untapping, and Archaeomancering back shock. Okay, and my opponent has lost the connection to the game. That might be because he wanted to split with me, and I declined. It's also, well, yeah, that's probably the case. He told me that he wanted to play basketball, but I told him that I was recording for you guys, and that's why I couldn't split with him. I also thought that our deck was absolutely amazing, and it was a blast to play. I hope you think the same. We could have easily lost this finals here because of the sheer power of some of our opponent's cards, but we definitely had the best deck in the sense that we had the best synergy. I'm going to pause this recording, or just stop this recording. You can see how I'm winning. We are Archaeomancer back shock, bring him to 5, attack for 5, and he's dead, which is why he disconnected. And then I'm going to record my recap video, a new feature I'm doing with the start of M14, where I go over the draft and the picks and the games to see for some of the decisions that I might have missed during commentating, but also to give a different perspective of maybe what the opponent is doing in retrospect. You always have more information than during commentating live, so that's just a way to get another perspective on things, maybe learn a couple of things, and I would love for you to check out the recap videos I do as well. Okay, that's it. Kind of sad to end this on a disconnect, but still a great performance by a great deck, and that's marks my second M14 draft on Magic Online, and we actually managed to win both of them.